We've got one more student comic for you before we get to our headliner tonight. You ready?
Yeah!
All right. He is from Lakewood, and he's last but not least. Let's give a big welcome to Mr. Matt Bettinger. Very much like being called a student. That makes me feel young. Appreciate everybody coming out on a nice random Wednesday night. I'm assuming you're out there. Cannot see up here. Just curious, how many people are here tonight on a date or as a couple or the whole spouse thing? How many people here tonight are here just as friends, doing the whole platonic thing? Nothing wrong with that. How many people thought they were here on a date and just found out that they were? Not sure we should have got that early. Sorry, buddy. Alright, I'm going to change the subject so you're all subtle watching this. So speaking of painful and legendary rejections, I should tell you I do work for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Give it up for some of my co-workers here tonight, if you can give them a round of applause. It's good to see them out eating solid food again. That's a little punch in the face they all took. Now the crazy thing about that whole LeBron fiasco is how people that aren't even in the sports business could appreciate just how randomly awful it all was. I mean, I took this workshop just a couple days after that whole thing, and we're going around the room introducing ourselves and all that, and somebody asked the instructor, you know, what's the quality of a good comedian? And he says, you know, honestly, you'll find a lot of successful comedians are a little, you know, they're a little damaged inside, you know, and that's where the humor comes from. But we keep on going. Here he gets to me, and he's like, and I'd say, you know, I'm Matt, and I work for the Cavs, and he stops and says, Jesus. I said, damn, that's not working right. So we got a little esteem work to do before the fall. And the ironic part of the whole LeBron thing was that he obviously put so much time and effort into hyping up that big show, and all it did was completely ruin his own reputation and make Cleveland even more lovable than ever, you know? And that night, the country couldn't have hated him more. If he went on TV and announced that Mel Gibson was his mentor, wearing a heartbeat t-shirt and blowing a fucking vuvuzela after me. I'm going South Beach. I would have loved it. I love random shit, you know, except when it feels like a kick in the junk, you know. I mean, last month for my birthday, my friends, honestly, they kidnapped me for my birthday. Literally, they threw me in the back of a car and drove me 3 or 4 hours to Indiana. They didn't tell me where or why we were going. Why anyone goes to Indiana, I don't know. We get to this podunk town in the middle of nowhere, and they announce, surprise, Maddie, we got your front row tickets to see 80s super band Loverboy. I've ever mentioned wanting to see me. But it was random and fit the category, so what the hell. So we're in the bandstand waiting for the band to come out, and you remember Loverboy, their big song was Everybody's Working for the Weekend, that whole thing with the leather pants and the bandanas. But now it's 2010. And the lead singer, and like a lot of these 80s bands that are still hanging on, the lead singer comes out and, well, he's a big boy. You know, he's got the big cataract sunglasses, the elastic jeans, he's got the fat guy arch going, his arms are swinging like a malfunctioning robot. But he sounds fantastic. I give him all the credit in the world, because he sounds exactly like you remember him on the radio. And I turned to my friend and I'm like, you know, watching this is a lot like watching Man vs. Food. You know, you're impressed, but at the same time, you're pretty concerned about it. The latest random thing that I'm doing is online dating. It's been mentioned here before, but online dating. Anyone else dipping their toe into that petri dish? I don't have to applaud. It's quite all right. It's probably a better kept secret. But new season seen these things. They have all the flowery names, eHarmony to match the soul lover, all that crap, those kind of names. But after doing this for a couple of months, I started to come up with some names for websites that would probably be a little more truthful as to what's going on in these websites, such as lieaboutyourage.com, nextstopcatboarding.com. If this works out, we're going to tell people we met in line at Starbucks. My single life is bugging the holy shit out of my married friends and family. That's what motivates all this stuff. It's all these married friends are in my ear saying, man, there's millions of desperate, lonely people on the online. What kind of support system I'm working with. But how these systems work is they got teams of experts, right? And they keep sending you dozens of soulmates every week for a monthly fee, which, yes, it's as romantic as it sounds. And one of their brilliant ideas is if you see someone you think is interesting, you're supposed to send what they call an icebreaker question, which turns out to be a painfully generic question in the hopes of starting, obviously, a painfully generic conversation with somebody you've never met. And some of their experts came up with these brilliant ones like, do you like restaurants? What? Do you like being alone? What the hell do you think I'm online for? And the best one is, do you believe in premarital sex? Yes. Thanks a lot, Dave Torres. That's what your experts came up with as a question? I mean, first of all, I can't imagine that being a question for a first date. And secondly, she sure as hell better believe in premarital sex. Look at me. Finding women who don't want to have sex with me is not my problem here. Dozens of women in the room right now would rather eat glass and go to bed with me. I only pay $30 a month for the experience. And this guy over here just found out he's just a friend. He's not getting any action either, but it only cost him $1 cover. This guy's my hero. He's going to start his own website, call it, we can go out as friends, but I will be telling people we had sex. And I was lost. Thank you, everybody.